Hello, anime fans! The fall 2024 season is right around the corner, and it's packed with some incredible new shows that we just can't wait to watch. Whether you love epic adventures, heartwarming romances, or mind-bending mysteries, there's something for everyone this season.
わかった。
So sit back, relax, and join us as we count down the top 10 most anticipated new anime of fall 2024.
殺さないでくれなえるぜ。すげえ力が溢れてくるぜ。
悪ならもっと強いてくれ苦戦を。
Starting us off at number 10 is Acro Trip. This anime follows Chizuko Date, a shy and quiet girl who's a bit of an otaku. Basically, she's super into anime and manga. Chiduko lives in a city where Berry Blossom, a magical girl, fights off an evil organization led by the not-so-threatening Chroma. But here's the twist. Most people in the city don't even care about these battles anymore because Chroma is so bad at being evil. But Chizuko? She's obsessed. Determined to make Berry Blossom a hero that everyone notices, Chizuko dives into a world filled with strange and mysterious people. This anime is perfect if you're looking for something quirky and fun with a bit of a dark edge.
できているんだな。
はい。
わかった。
At number 9, we have Ao Nomiburo. This one's set in 1863, a time when Japan was going through some really big changes. The streets are dangerous, and there's a lot of tension between masterless samurai, known as Runin, and the government's samurai. In the middle of all this is Neo, a young orphan who's had a pretty tough life but still believes in justice and wants to make the world a better place. Neo ends up meeting two guys, Hijikata Toshizo and Okita Tsuji, who are part of a group called the Miburo, better known later as the Shinsengumi, a famous samurai group. Neo decides to join them, hoping to create a better future. But with all the betrayal and conflict happening around him, will he be able to stick to his ideals? If you're into historical dramas with lots of action and deep characters, this is definitely one to watch.
殺さないでくれ
Coming in at number 8 is Loner Life in Another World. This isekai anime, where characters are transported to another world, follows Haruka, a sarcastic and somewhat grumpy loner. When Haruka and his whole class get sent to a fantasy world, everyone gets cool powers, except Haruka. By the time it's his turn to choose, all the good skills are taken, so he's stuck with a bunch of weird and random abilities. Haruka isn't thrilled about the whole adventuring thing, but when chaos breaks out among his classmates, he might be the only one who can step in and save the day. If you like stories about underdogs and unexpected heroes, this anime will be right up your alley.
今のお前の目の前にある景色は
At number 7 is Tying the Knot with an Amagami Sister. Uryu Kamihate has had a rough life, but he's determined to turn things around by getting into medical school. He thinks he's finally found a peaceful place to study when he moves into a shrine, but things don't go as planned. Not only does he find himself living with 3 beautiful and lively sisters, but he also discovers that he has to marry one of them and eventually take over the shrine. This romantic comedy is full of laughs, misunderstandings, and maybe even some love. If you enjoy stories where the main character's life takes an unexpected turn, you'll definitely want to check this one out.
お前らをアラスカに送ってやる
Next up, at number 6, is 365 Days to the Wedding. Takuya and Rika work together at a travel agency in Tukiyu. They're both quiet, introverted people who are pretty happy with their lives just the way they are. But their peaceful routine is threatened when their company starts looking for people to transfer to a new office in Siberia. The catch? Single employees are the first to be considered for the move. Desperate to avoid this, Rika comes up with a plan. She asks Takuya to pretend they're getting married in a year so they can stay in Tukiyu. The problem? They barely know each other. Now they have to navigate this fake relationship without anyone finding out the truth. As they spend more time together, though, who knows, maybe something real will blossom between them. This one's perfect if you love slow burn romances with a unique twist. Coming in at number 5 is I'll Become a Villainess Who Goes Down in History. In this story, a young woman who's a huge fan of an Atome game, a type of story-based game where the main character usually has multiple romantic options, finds herself reincarnated as Arishia, the villainess of that very game. Arishia is known for her sharp tongue, dark magic, and malevolent nature. But the woman who's now living as Arishia is determined to make her the greatest villainess in history. With her knowledge of how the game is supposed to play out, she thinks she can avoid the bad ending and leave her mark as the ultimate villain. But as she gets deeper into the story, she realizes that changing her fate might be a lot harder than she thought. If you love stories about strong female leads and twisted fairy tales, this one's for you.
どちら様。
ぶしつけに大変申し訳ございません。
At number 4 is You Are Ms. Servant. Hitoyoshi Yokoya is a high school student living alone, until one day a mysterious girl shows up at his door and offers to be his maid. But here's the catch. She's a former assassin. Hitoyoshi is understandably nervous at first, but after she saves him from a dangerous situation, he decides to let her stay. The problem is she has 0 household skills. Cooking, cleaning, you name it, she's terrible at it. The only thing she's good at is, well, assassinating people. But as she spends more time with Hitoyoshi, she starts to experience normal emotions and wants to leave her old life behind. She even asks him to give her a new name, and he chooses Yuki. This anime is a mix of action, comedy, and heartwarming moments as Yuki tries to become a regular girl and create a new life for herself. It's perfect if you enjoy character-driven stories with a unique twist.
自分が楽だからで打ってると一生そのままだぞ。
Sliding into number 3 is Blue Box. Taiki Inamata is a third-year junior high student who loves badminton. He's got a major crush on Chainatsu Kano, a first-year high school student who's the star of the basketball team. The gap between them seems huge. Taiki is just an average guy, while Chainatsu is super popular and talented. But things take a surprising turn when Chainatsu ends up living in Taiki's house. Determined to become someone worthy of standing by her side, Taiki starts training harder than ever, aiming to make it to the nationals. This anime is more than just a sports story. It's about young love, personal growth, and the courage to chase after your dreams. If you're looking for an inspiring and heartfelt story, Blue Box is definitely worth a watch.
おい、一物しゃぶらせろ。
Our runner-up at number 2 is Dan Da Dan. Momo Ayase is a high school girl who's just been rejected by her crush and she's feeling pretty down. But things get interesting when she meets a weird boy who's obsessed with aliens. They make a bet. Momo believes in ghosts, while he believes in aliens. To settle their argument, they decide to explore an abandoned building said to be haunted by ghosts. What they find there is beyond anything they could have imagined. Both aliens and ghosts are real, and they're way more terrifying than they expected. Now, Momo and her new friend are caught up in a wild adventure involving the supernatural and extraterrestrial. This anime is packed with action, mystery, and plenty of surprises, making it a must-watch for anyone who loves a good thrill. And finally, taking the number 1 spot is Uzumaki, Spiral into Horror. This anime is based on a famous horror manga by Ziyunzi Ito, and trust me, it's not for the faint of heart. The story takes place in a small town called Kuruzucho, where something very strange is happening. People are becoming obsessed with spirals. It starts with little things, like someone being fascinated by a snail shell, but soon it becomes much more dangerous. People start to lose their minds, and some even start to transform in terrifying ways. As the town descends into madness, the main characters try to uncover the truth behind the spiral curse before it consumes them all.
そそるぜこれは
If you're a fan of horror, especially psychological horror that really gets under your skin, Uzumaki is an absolute must-watch. It's creepy, atmospheric, and will definitely leave you sleeping with the lights on. And there you have it, our top 10 most anticipated new anime of fall 2024. Which one are you most excited about? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on all things anime. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.